Tyson, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. I am super excited to talk about 2021 Topps Chrome baseball with you tonight. It's a hot product.
It's a very hot product. It's been fast and furious this weekend for sure.
That might be the only positive thing we say about 2021 Topps Chrome. I'm warning you.
Gotta start high.
We're going to get hot. We're going to get honest, really honest. I tell you what, let's start with something really positive. The most positive thing, these cards look great. Agreed?
Yes.
Look at that. That super looks incredible.
Yeah. I don't know many supers that don't look good, but yes, that looks incredible for sure.
Okay. Fair point. Fair point. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. Let's break down what we're hearing from 2021 Topps Chrome. We'll talk about SKU pricing. We'll talk real quickly about just what we're seeing with redemptions and super short prints and all the good stuff. We'll talk through top 15 guys and prices. We'll project those the best we can. And then we'll give the good, the bad, and the ugly. Probably a lot more of the latter than the former. But that's okay. Yep. I'm going to be honest about this. All right. So let's start with the reality of the SKU pricing. So all of these are down considerably from even 3 weeks ago. Hobby Box is going for $230, HGA for $4, Jumbo for $430, and Blasters at $40. Hobbies were $350 and Jumbos were $550 just 3 weeks ago. What are you seeing from the hobby HTA world? Why are they dropping so fast?
Oh, to me, it's just the value's not there like it has been in years past. It just seems like all the breaks, there's a lot of misses, and I think we're going to get to the real reason why. But overall, it's just, it hasn't been good. Like there is a lot of guys I haven't heard of, a lot of people that autos that guys I don't even know play baseball that are coming out that people are confused by, like people that are, have the Marlins and hit some relief pitcher they have never heard of. Like I just think it's been very difficult to get the hits, and then also there's been a lot of misses, more than usual. I know that in the past, you expect Chrome always seems to have a lot of pitcher autos and a lot of different. It's Chrome's a difficult auto chase, but I think it's definitely at a different level this year.
Yeah, for sure. Let me throw those prices back up again. I think you and I both agree at the current prices, $230, $430. There's no way either to rip or to buy and hold that you would take the bait with those numbers. Correct.
Correct. And one thing that's a really big point about this is that I think the two of the strongest baseball players in this product is Andrew Vaughn and Kelnick, and they don't have base cards, which also makes me fade those because there's no
good point.
It's very, because they don't have anything but hard hits. And so, something else to consider.
For sure. This is a lotto ticket product if there ever has been one to this level. And we'll get to the SSP'S here in a second, but even the upper end autos are we're starting to see like they're just really hard to hit, as you'd expect for a guy to get slipped in last minute, right? Let's talk about the reality of the situation and why we keep talking about why it's so hard. This puts things in perspective really quick. Total number of autos versus the last 3 years. 133 autos in one product, rookie autos. It just blows my mind, especially when you see it in comparison.
Yeah, and I just going through the list of the 133, there's even guys on there that I'm not even sure how they're on there. Like Sheraton Apostle is a prospect for the Rangers. He just had his prospect card in 2020 Bowman, and so he's not even playing for the Rangers right now. Or Estevan Florial is another prospect that's not even really playing right now. So it's just been really weird to see the guys that did slide in there too, and why they press so much to get such a big rookie autograph checklist, because it's made it literally a bloodbath in terms of people hitting people they don't know about. It's been very difficult.
It's so bad. They brought back Sterling Sharp and created a baseball card for him. That's how desperate they were.
Yes. I think Ty, you need to tell the story of your hobby shop about your friend pulling the same of a guy he also didn't know.
So I'm in a shop what I did a video on the other day with Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and they were selling their hobby boxes for $285, which is obviously overpriced. They open one in the shop, and the first card is a base auto, and they kind of slow play it, and it's like, oh darn it, it's a pitcher, Josh Fleming. He is a pitcher, right? I think so. I don't know.
Yeah. Good question.
It was a pitcher, and so he's like, oh, it's okay, we got another auto coming up, and he goes through 3 or 4 packs later, and it's like, oh, it's a color. Slow play. No, it's Josh Fleming again. Same box, 2 Josh Flemings, right? And
Oh man.
the funny thing is, of all the guys, we tracked all of them, the number of sold, number of listed. Josh Fleming has the most combined cards listed and sold.
Oh my
And it's
goodness.
not high. It's like $10, $8. But
Right.
we'll figure Josh Fleming was the guy pulled. All right, cool. So let's dig into the redemptions. There's 12 of them. A few of the big names on there. Obviously, Kelenick's on there. Frustrating names on here is what it is.
Right.
Right.
Part of them trying to slide some of them in here. Yeah. I mean, Huff's on there. Cronenworth's on there. Bombs. I was a little surprised Bombs on there, but yeah, very, very interesting list for sure.
Yeah. There are a couple like Cronenworth that have splits. You're seeing a couple base autos, and you're also seeing some redemptions. So the same with Ha-Sung Kim. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay. Any other year, you'd be like 12 redemptions. That's what? 12 redemptions. There's 133 autos. So it's a small percentage, I guess, of the overall
10%,
list.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So let's go through some of the names real quick. 11 through 15. Let's start with that. Okay. Anybody stand out to you here? And again, real quick, these are the best we got for 5 days in. So bear with us. Right. These numbers will all kind of come down. The top 5 guys, we don't know yet. It is what it is. Who do you like here?
I think I like Kurloff here just because I think he has a really good prospect status. He's injured now, so he's also probably a little bit lower. So I do think the $100 for him is good. He's kind of bunched with the guys we're going to talk about in a second, but I think Kurloff stands out to me of this group.
Okay. 9 to 5.
Yeah, I think I was a little surprised to see Jazz, at 100. I thought he'd be a little bit above because he's done a little bit more than the other in the group. But I think stands out to me is Carlson at 115. I just think he has probably the best upside of all these guys, the least holes in his game. So I kind of trust him a little bit longer term than Adele and Pache because Pache is a little more defensive. Adele's got quite the K rate, but I think Carlson's kind of the guy that stands out to me in this group.
Like it. All right. Then our top 5. Someone made a point in the blowout forums. I think this is a good point before we look at these numbers. The top 3 to 5 guys here, specifically the top 2 guys, maybe Cabrian, they're going to sell for much higher than they would in other years just because they're just, it's like, right, putting lipstick on a pig. And these are the guys that are taking, these are the guys that are getting pressed up in price.
You get a Kelenic auto, that's 1 out of 133 options. So yeah, it's a big deal. But no, I like Jake Cronenworth here and because he's got the playoff opportunity, and I think it's cool to see him here because we wouldn't have said that probably at the start of the baseball season if he'd be a top 5 guy in Chrome. Yeah, I think Baum you're going to see with Alec Boehm, you're going to see a little bit of a drawback because he's just got demoted. I know a lot of people still believe in him, so you might have a good buying opportunity for him to actually get back into that top group. Kelenic, as you said, we're trying to kind of project a bit. He's already pretty high. It's a very tough buy for me, but I think Vaughn also has that playoff push like Cronenworth as well that we could see. I really like Vaughn, and he's doing well right now. So
yeah,
kind of like
we put 400. There is one listed for Kelenic now at I think $1,100 or something. That's not going to sell for $1,100. Obviously, we're projecting about 400. So
yeah.
Yeah, you said this to me offline. It's a good point. You were frustrated to see Kelenic even as an auto in this product because all it did was inflate his price.
Right.
In what would have been a pretty reasonable year to get him out there.
Yeah, and I'm not really interested in breaks with the Mariners. There's no base card, so it's just there's no fallback. It's so volatile in terms of what I can get, and so it's just making his autos super expensive. That when that SSP comes, it's going to be super expensive, and I'm just going to have to wait for it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for definitely. Sure. Okay, so there's your top 15 guys. Inside the article that we're referenced in the show notes, we'll have all the rest of the guys, and we'll help break down some of this stuff for you. Now, let's point out the color multiplier for those that have not seen this. We've done this many times before. This is just a frame of reference for you. Very early on, it can get confusing and frustrating trying to figure out how to price your colored cards or what prices to pay. You look back at history, you can figure out pretty quickly what you should pay. So just kind of keep that in mind. I think you and I agree. We gravitate, and I think most investors gravitate towards blue, number 150. You're getting about a 3x multiplier off a base, and gold, which is about 7 to 8x multiplier.
Right.
Yeah. Any other things you want to point out here? Red and below are all kind of unpredictable. They're just
Yeah, those are all high-end cards that, obviously you'd love to have them. The Aqua Refractors, like we talked about, is the new, a bit kind of offline we talked about. So that's a little different feel. So that would probably kind of be treated similar to purple probably. I prefer refractor over purple and aqua probably, but yeah, that's just a good little frame of reference on the color for sure.
Cool. All right, look, this is meant to be short and sweet and help guide you a little bit in 2021 Topps Chrome. You sense the negativity in our voice. It is a really tough product. It just is, specifically because the prices on wax are really high. Blasters, maybe. Keep in mind, SRPs are 30 this year, not 20, not 25. So $30, you're paying $40 on secondary market. Blasters are somewhat reasonable.
Yeah.
Is there any silver lining outside of maybe the top guys holding a pretty good price? We didn't show super short prints, did we? Did we show those?
No, not yet.
Let's show those real fast, just so people know. And I mean, have we seen a super short print hit? I think we saw the Mookie, right? Yeah, correct. We saw a Mookie hit. Yeah, so there's 6 super short prints. These are non-autos.
Right.
Adele, Kelenic, Trout, Williams, Betts, and Babe Ruth, who you don't see on there. Right. Adds a little value, or a lot of value if you can get one. Adds a bigger chase card.
Yeah, I think the fact that none of these have been seen except for this Mookie is a big tell that it's a very slow print. Like there's not many out there. A lot of people, I'm seeing mentions and comments on Twitter like, is the Kelenic card real? Is there actually a Kelenic card? Because nobody's seen it yet. So these cards are going to be very, I think, especially the rookie ones. I think Adele and Kelenic will have a pretty good price tag when they come up because they're going to be very rare.
What are we thinking on Kelenic? $2,000 ish?
I think $2,000 a good gauge based on where his orange auto went for about 1,600. So if you kind of offline told me projecting this card to be about 10 to 15 ish. So yeah, I'd put it in that orange auto range.
10 to 15 as in like the print run. And I would stick with it. I think there's no more than 15 of these. Yeah, that would be my guess.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So another stat that I haven't even shared with you. So to get this, I ran the first week of sales and activity of 2020 Chrome versus 2021 Chrome. $860,000 in total sales last year, $708,000 this year. 6,100 sellers of Topps Chrome products, singles, whatever it may be, last year. 3,600 this year.
That's
just huge. I mean, you're talking like 2,400 less sellers. I mean, a lot of people backed out of it, and then obviously the market's pulled back quite a bit in the last 3 or 4 months.
Well, and then I think the biggest thing for me when I hear those numbers from you is that the amount from last year being just slightly above this year with how high the prices are this year. I think that's a really interesting point, that it's struggling to get to the numbers last year and it's more expensive.
Yeah. So very true. Last point. I love pointing out sell-through rates. Sell-through rates last year were just about 40%. So 40% of the cards being listed during that time frame were selling. This year, 14%.
I was going to guess 15. Oh man, I should have guessed.
I should have asked you. Darn it. Yeah. That includes wax too. So there's a lot of wax sitting out there because you know what? Everyone's realizing I got my stuff priced too high. I'm not going to. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So strategies going forward in terms of buying. We talk about this all the time. Products like this, you hold wax and maybe a couple guys pop later down the line, 2 or 3 years. That baseball always works that way. You just can't do it at these prices right now. Agreed?
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think right now, just be patient. Retail is a good option if you want to rip some stuff and have some fun. The cards are still great. They got great parallels. It looks nice. In the class, I mean, in general, this 2021 class has underwhelmed. There's been injuries. There's guys that have been called up and called down. And I think there's just a lot of unknowns still for sure. But right now it's the wax has outpriced the performance and people are really frustrated with that, along with the rookie auto count.
Lots of quantity, not lots of quality. So take it for what it's worth. In terms of breaks, stick with the White Sox. Maybe it seems like that's
I think
maybe
White Sox are Yeah, the White Sox are nice because you have Vaughn. They still have Madrigal there too, so
True.
that's a nice little fallback as well. They have a couple. I think they might have Dan Dunning. They got a couple other guys, but anyways, and the Marlins have a lot of rookie autos. They have Sixto Sanchez. They have Jesus Sanchez. They got along with Jazz, along with Rogers. They have 4 guys. So the Marlins and White Sox have a lot of options. The Mariners are tough. If you're going for Kelnick, it's going to be really difficult. They have Evan White and a couple pitchers that aren't really playing. But yeah, I think in terms of what you said there, Ty, in terms of volume, I think the White Sox and Marlins are pretty good teams to go for if you want some volume.
I would say go for the Green Bay Packers. You always want Sterling Sharp. He's probably going to hold his value the best out of all these guys.
That's right.
Final thought in terms of wax prices, where we think they go. I think 40 is probably 35 to 40 for blasters is probably where they're going to sit, considering SRP's 30. If I was to guess, looking at prices now with wax, nothing above 200 on hobby, probably 170 would be my number.
Yes.
Agreed?
Absolutely. And I think this is why I would be shocked if you have a tough time finding Chrome on the shelves for restock. I think Chrome's going to be on the shelves. I think you should be able to find it. So if you want to wait and go the retail route, that should be a pretty easy option for you. Yeah, hobby shouldn't be over 200, and HTA has got to get closer to 350, I think, to actually make sense.
There you go. Okay, there's our suggestions. Hope that helps. Look, at the end of the day, we love ripping cards, but this is a losing proposition with 2021 Topps Chrome unless you're super sharp or strategic or lucky. Hope you're one of those 3.
That's right.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks for all your help.
Yeah, buddy.